Hello there guys, it's Joey. So this is a new spell line for the store that was requested. So this is Gentle Whispers of Avalon. So the request was, could I create a spell oil and a spell pendant to aid with anxiety and panic attacks. I actually created a herbal blend as well, which isn't necessarily for the person who requested the oil and the pendant, but as I was creating the pendant and the oil, I had a very strong feeling that I should create a little powder to go with it as well. It may well be for someone else, I'm not entirely sure, but when I get those feelings I go with them because it's witchy intuition, if you like. So Gentle Whispers of Avalon. Anyone who has been with me for any length of time knows that I created my own healing meditation to do with Avalon. And Avalon is the place where I go to for all forms of healing in terms of a meditative setting, a metaphysical landscape, a vibrational energy that I tap into, if you like, when particularly with regards to healing work. It's not exclusively healing work because I do tree work through Avalon at times and priestess type work through Avalon at times, but first and foremost it is a place of deep healing as far as I'm concerned. And on the store there are, you know, the Healing Waters of Avalon is the standard healing set. There's the Avalon by Starlight. It's, I think, what I called the deep healing version of that, which was for depression in particular. So this is the Gentle Whispers of Avalon for anxiety. So the idea is that it's the healing breath for anxiety. It has to be rooted in my place of healing, Avalon, and it has to combine herbs that not only spiritually and magically promote calm and healing, but also from a herbalistic standpoint are known for their calming properties. The idea of Gentle Whispers is twofold. First and foremost, it's the best way to speak to somebody who's having an anxiety attack is to keep a quiet, level, gentle voice. Keep it quiet, keep it low, like I'm doing right now. And because I suffer with anxiety as well, and my sister suffers with anxiety, so I'm familiar with it. And secondly, the idea of it being a low whisper, a low voice, because of the reverence and respect for the spirits and gods of the land, particularly Avalon, but the land around us. And it is said in the Celtic tradition that you can hear the whisperings of the gods in the sacred groves, and therefore it brings that energy of listening, the deep listening, going back and calming yourself and grounding yourself with that tree energy, that sacred grove energy, coming back to a stillness, coming back to a wholeness, coming back to being at one, whereas anxiety tends to split you up into a million pieces and give you no rest. The idea of the whispering is to come back to a wholeness and back to being gentle with yourself and not allowing anxiety to run rampant. So, this is the pendant. The pendant is a version of the Ogham pendants that are available on store. Again, it encaptures this very gentle energy. You have colour magic with this beautiful sort of spiritual mint green coloured ribbon, and whilst I am not the biggest fan of green personally, mint green is one of the exceptions. I think it has a very beautiful colouring, and green is supposed to be very soothing, very calming. You can go with blue for healing, but given that this is a healing energy particularly directed at the soothing of anxiety, I went with the mint green. So it has that kind of cooling effect in terms of colour magic. And then the pendant itself, of course, contains herbs and crystals relevant to keeping a sense of calm and helping with magic to help balance anxiety. Okie dokie. And then we have the spell oil. Now, the light is a little bit funny because we're raining and windy in England. It's cray, but we are loving it. I love it anyway. I was listening to it all last night. So there you go. Here is the... It's actually really beautiful. Again, it's not dissimilar in physical appearance to how the healing waters of Avalon, spell oil looks, and that's, you know, intended, but it's different herbs completely. And it's interesting that Avalon takes on this lake-like appearance no matter what I do with it. That it wants to resonate around the Lake of Avalon, because to me that is the place of the deep healing with regards to Avalonic healing. When I do my meditation, that's what I use. Charm doesn't want to sit. There you go. It's lovely. Its energy is absolutely beautiful. I'm tempted to make myself one actually, so that might be what I'm doing this afternoon. And then there is the powder. Now again, there is no obligation to the lady who requested the other two items, so, you know, don't feel that you're obligated if you don't want one. So this is the little pot of... I've just completely noticed I didn't note it down in my book. That's alright, I know what one's in it. This is a little powder, and I really wanted to do it in one of the little jars. I think it spoke to me to be this way, and I was like, okay, this is how it needs to be. And so it has a visual, it's so visually beautiful. It's just, it speaks to me of herbalism and healing, and the herbal healer at Avalon, and just peacefulness. And I guess witchcraft healing is how it feels. It feels like the essence of witchcraft healing to me. And the powder, of course, can be used in a number of ways. You can add a little bit to water, and you can place your hands in water and absorb the energies. That's one of my favourite ways to do healing magic. I may do a video on that. There's a crow just flew past the window, so I'm taking that as confirmation. Okay. And another way you could do it is add a little pinch to your bath with some Epsom bath salts. They work really, really well with that. You can add it to sachets. You can add it to the base of candles. You could roll your candles up in it if you so desired. If you're going to roll candles up in it, just be aware, fire, burny. Do it somewhere safe. Personally, I would go with the water method, because for me, I don't know how... It's quite immersive as a form of healing, and it connects to the Lake of Avalon really well because it provides an extra element to that healing spell. So it's like taking it back into the water can really help sort of activate the full potential of the spell and the energy work and the energy matrix within the items, if that makes sense. I know what I mean. I think that makes sense. So yeah, so those are the 3 items for Gentle Whispers of Avalon, and they were indeed a request, well, 2 of them were, but because of the nature of them and because of how strongly I feel about them, I'm going to make them regular items, and they will be available full stop. I feel quite strongly about it. Like a lot of the Avalon items are like permanent lines for Starry-Eyed Supplies, brands for Starry-Eyed Supplies, and I keep them up most of the time. Healing Waters of Avalon is available right now on store and always will be, and I might look at recreating the deeper healing version. But this will definitely be on store all the time. The powder and the oil for certain, and the pendant most likely. I can definitely keep the pendants up if people are interested in them, but the herbal blend and the oil for certain are going to be regular items because I feel quite strongly about it. I'm going to be working with it myself. I have some extra, so I'm going to be working with it myself, and I will follow this up, I think, with a video about healing work. Okay, so that is it for Gentle Whispers of Avalon, and many blessings.